Hello, Joe. Oh, let's get this thing kicked off. On. All right. Let's go ahead. Hello, everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute. A couple more people logging in, and we'll get started. There we go. That's what we want. All right. We're going to get started. We're only going to need about 25 or 30 minutes for this. So we'll give this just another minute, just a minute past the hour. So we'll give this 2 or 3 minutes before we get started. All right. Just by way of questions and answers, there is a Q&A section or the chat, which is available to anybody who wants to ask questions during the webinar. Try to catch to those. And hello, Joe. And we'll get started again. Just one more minute. All right, well, let's get started. We've waited long enough, and I'm sure some people will pop in along the way. So hi, everybody. I'm Rob Manfredi. I'm the owner of Bamboo Solutions. And what I thought we'd do in today's webinar is give you a little bit of an overview of Bamboo Solutions for a slide. We're going to talk about how our products are deployed, how our products are licensed, and then we're going to go into the 3 essential products that we feel every SharePoint tenant should have. Each of these you'll see a quick demo of. They are all available for a free trial as well, either through our website or through AppSource, whichever your preferred method is. And without further ado, let's get started. The next slide. The down button. I have 2 of these open because I don't really understand what's happening. Interesting. Okay. Well, Ah, I did have two open. All right, that makes a ton of sense. All right, so uh, about Bamboo, a little bit about Bamboo. So we are a leading provider of both enterprise class software apps and services for SharePoint and Microsoft 365. We've served over 8,000 customers worldwide with our products. We've got very large clients and we've got very small clients, small not-for-profits, small five-man shops. We always like to say our products are very high value, low cost solutions that really make the experience for your users in SharePoint and Teams much better. Our experience makes us best in class. Uh, we've been developing products for over 10 years for SharePoint. We've got 40 plus consultants on our team, a very high customer satisfaction rating. And what we do find is customers that start with one typically end up with 3 or 4 of our products because, again, they do really specific things, but they do them very well at a cost that everybody can afford. Our products are SPFX solutions that run in your SharePoint Online environment, right? They have no connection to Bamboo. They are not SaaS products. They are not hosted anywhere. They have no talkback to our servers. You can get our products, free trial or purchase through Bamboo, our website, which we'll take a quick tour of, or Microsoft App Source. We have 26 products that are all available on our website. 16 of those are available on App Source, and we keep adding more and more every month. They do have to go through a process before they're published, but they are the same products. Support and upgrades are included in the first year of their purchase price. And what you'll see here on the right, this little onion, is that here is our product, right? It's an SPFX-based functionality, so that means it's talking to the SharePoint framework, right? And it complies with all your security rules. So it's installed in your tenant, managed by you, and deployed by you, right? It goes into your app catalog, either at the tenant level or a site collection level. It does ride along with all of your SharePoint Online permissions. So if somebody can't get to the page, they can't get to the product. If data that is being shown within the product is coming from a site collection that a user does not have access to, even though they can see the product, they won't see the data that it's displaying. So we adhere to all of the security pieces within SharePoint, and it is, of course, accessed all the way using your browser. So no special plugins or anything that needs to be downloaded to the browser. The way we license our products, since they are software products, is that it's a single price per SharePoint tenant. So no subscriptions or per user per month pricing. It is a perpetual license with first year maintenance. Second year maintenance is available as an option, which is 22% of the purchase price. Once you have your product installed into your app catalog, you can put it on as many pages or site collections as you'd like within that tenant. It is a perpetual license, so if you decide not to renew your maintenance in year 2, the product will still work in its current state as long as Microsoft doesn't break something. Support and upgrades are provided throughout the year in your account. You need to download them and install them. So we'll let you know when they're available, but we're not pushing out any upgrades. We're not touching your tenant, or do we have any access to your tenant. Like I said, second year maintenance is 22% of the purchase price. And if you're a larger customer, over 2,000 users in your SharePoint site, there is an additional support charge per account, not per product, which we'll get into in a second. If you're a small business or a not-for-profit, we also offer small business pricing, which is a maintenance-only pricing. So if you are a regular company with fewer than 100 employees, you can simply do the maintenance-only cost. The first year of maintenance cost will get you a perpetual license and first year support. If you are a not-for-profit or an educational institution with 300 or fewer employees, you can do the same thing. If you're larger than that, of course, we've got our normal not-for-profit education discounts of, I believe, 10%. So really easy for small companies to begin using our products. And that maintenance only price is 22% of the purchase price, which we'll get into. If you're a larger customer over 2,000, in addition to the product cost, we have an enterprise support cost. This is by the account, not by the product. So if you're between 2 and 10,000 SharePoint users, it's an additional $2,500 per year for the account. Even if you have 5 products, it's still the one cost. If you're between 10,000 and 100,000, and if you're over 100,000. So this is the equivalent of number of servers on-prem. It's a way of for us scaling the support we want to provide to you so that we can keep your products running and service the needs of our larger customers. The product cost is still the same. This is just an additional support cost if you're a large customer. So for example, if you're a customer with just 1,000 SharePoint users and you're looking to buy Calendar Plus, which is $3,995, that's all you would pay. That's a perpetual license, first year maintenance. The renewal in year 2 would be 22%, which is $878.90. So really clean, really easy. If you are a small customer, like we talked about, you would only pay the $878.90 per year to get you your perpetual license. If you're a bigger customer, over 2,000, you've got the enterprise support cost of $2,500. Let's say you're buying 2 products, Cal Plus and let's say Employee Directory Plus, which is $1,850. This would be your first year cost. Second year, if you decided to renew your maintenance, it would be that $24.95 again, and then just the maintenance costs of those 2 products. So that would be it. So you can kind of see how we build it. This is by the account, not by the number of products. This is your purchase price up here in year 1, and then this is your renewal price here in year 2, right? So pretty straightforward. Happy to walk through that with you moving forward. All right, let's get into the products. The first one we're going to take a look at is a product called Tabify. After we do this, we're going to do a quick website tour, and then we'll just be doing demos from there after. So what Tabify does is a nifty product, a visual product that allows you to organize your pages, multiple web parts, whether they're our web parts or just the standard SharePoint web parts, into a single tabbed interface, right? So that you don't have to scroll through them. So for example, we're maximizing the screen real estate by tabbing the web parts. So here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 web parts that would be very long on a page, right? Now in a tabbed environment. And we can also see that as an admin, I can edit the names of those tabs to make them user friendly. All web parts that exist in the same web part zone are automatically tabbed. But using this little gear wheel, we can exclude the web parts from the tabbed interface if you desire. So let's take a look at what that looks like. All right, so first of all, quick tour of our website here at bamboosolutions.com. We've got our products tab. The blue products are SharePoint Online. The green products are our on-prem SharePoint products that we still support for 2016-19 and SPSC 2022. So if we look at, sorry about that, view all products, we can grab that and we will get a list of all of the 26 products that we currently have for SharePoint Online with a nice little description of each one of them. All right, so we're looking at Tabify. So we'll come down here to Tabify. And on the product page, we've got an overview, key features. Our user guides are embedded within the product page, a video and pricing. Also, this lower left-hand corner, try buy, is how you would get a trial to the product. So you click that button, our Bamboo Shopper opens up. If you want to buy it, it's $2,000. If you want to trial it, there is no cost, no credit card needed. You simply add it to the cart, you check out, no credit card needed, download it, install it in your app catalog, and use it for 30 days with full support at no charge. So we'd love to help you through that experience right through our website. And the like. So again, this product is $2,000 or $1,995 first year. Second year would be maintenance only, which is 22% of that, unless of course you are a small business or not-for-profit, right? If you are, you get that maintenance only price and the like. If you're over 2,000 SharePoint users, you would need to go and look at the enterprise support, what would need to be added. So let's take a look at the product itself. So all of our products pretty much work the same. Here we are on a page. I'm an admin, so I do have access to the gear wheel and the pencils. As a regular user, you would not. But what you can see is I've got the 3 web parts. Here's one of the hero image web parts that's out of the box. Here is the YouTube video web part, and then here's a Twitter feed web part as well. Or I guess we should change that to X. Why don't we go ahead? And as the admin, I can say this is now X. And then, of course, we all do this, former Twitter. Oops, hold on. How do I save that? Spell that right. Oh my gosh. Failing. There we go. I got to hit that little button. It doesn't look like a save, but that's what that is. X. Okay. There we go. And the like. Now, this other web part I've excluded, right, from this. So that's done in the gear wheel, where you get all of the web parts, right, that are within this frame. And then you can choose to include them or exclude them, which would then put them below. This navigation, you can set that color as well. It is something you could select. So if you wanted to make it a little more closer to uh, what we see out of the box, we can do that, and then we'll save it. And now we've got all of our web parts, people web part, X, YouTube, and the feel good, all in the single web part. Now, the way this web part is added to your page is just like any other web part within the app catalog. So you can see in this section, right, I've added this hero web part. There's the YouTube web part. There's the Twitter, formerly X, or X formerly Twitter, and then the peoples. And then I just simply add the Bamboo Navigator Tabify web part here at the bottom in the same frame. And then everything in this frame becomes tabified when I publish it. And instead of having that long scrolling page, I now have a very nice tabbed interface of all of my web parts. Pretty simple, but very handy. We have a couple large customers that use this just all over the place because it saves on real estate and really helps users navigate around. Okay, let's go back to our product. Again, we've got some questions that you can ask in the chat or in the QA. I'll keep my eye on it and try to answer them as we move through it because we're getting lots of people in here. Love it. All right, let's go to the next product, which is list search. So search is always a big thing for users, right? People want to find exactly what they're looking for, right? So what simple list search does is it allows you to quickly locate information that matters with a streamlined targeted search at either a list or a library, right? So list search makes it easy for your users to find what you need, right? We can create simplified search interfaces in just a few clicks like we see over here in the right. You can target specific SharePoint lists and columns without creating indexes or search scopes or getting excess information outside of the list from that site collection. The search results are presented in a familiar SharePoint list view, and we can define how these boxes are hooked together with either ands or ors, right? So what we find is the search box at the top provides searching across everything within that site and below, but it gives you anything that's out there. Plus, trying to create a more complex search in the little search bar, such as anding or oring or date ranges or dollars, really becomes difficult for the users to find something, especially if you're looking at a document library, a large one, or a large list of data, right? So if you look at the key features that make our list search easier and better for users, there's no need to learn how to plug in and or operators into the search bar. Number fields and currency fields and Boolean fields can be searched. They cannot be searched with out-of-the-box SharePoint search functions. Operators such as equals to, is greater than, are quickly selectable. That is, you can specify ranges for numbers, currency fields, dates, things like that. Like, I want all documents that were created between May 1st and May 30th of last year. You can target a search feature to a specific list or library. That doesn't even have to be on the same site collection. So if your users are in a team site, but the document library is on a whole another site collection, you can put list search on that team site and have it searching documents and pulling the results into that library as well. We also support partial word searches for items where out of the box does not return any results. It doesn't do partial word searches. We can search within a filtered list view, which is very powerful if you've got a large list and you just want to filter it by something and then do a search across those. We can export our results, and then we can actually filter the results of your search so that you can find exactly what you're looking for, and some neat, nifty highlighting. So in addition to being able to search a list or library, we've now integrated list search with our other product called List Rollup. And what List Rollup does is it allows you to roll together multiple lists or document libraries into a single schema. So here's list 1, 2, 3, or document library 1, 2, 3. It can be on different site collections with same site collection, whatever. It rolls it into a single schema, and then you can push the simple search against the schema, and you will simultaneously be searching all of these lists or libraries by simply searching this schema. That becomes really a workhorse and is powerful if you've got document libraries spread out across different sites managed by different enterprises, but you want to provide a single view of them and then search against that single view. These two products together on-prem were just the workhorse for most SharePoint sites. We've now recreated that technology and integration here for SharePoint Online so that you can enjoy those as well. It does require purchasing List Rollup. We used to call them simple list search and advanced list search. That's the difference between the two, is one is integrated with List Rollup. All right, so let's take a look at how this looks. All right, so here we've got on our page list search, right? It's a web part. It has a bunch of fields in it. It's pointed to a list, and based on the types of columns, we actually automatically create these boxes that allow us to do is equal to, not equal, less than, greater than, or is in between for number fields, date fields, currency fields. If it's a choice box, right, we give you all the choices that are available. If it's a yes, no is also a choice, right? And then we also have a search in all columns if you're not too sure where you're supposed to be searching. So unlike this search, which searches everything in here, right? This is targeted to what the users may be looking for. You can call this whatever you want. So it could be, inventory search or document library search or policies and procedure search. So let's say I want to search for all items that have come out of finance. So I'm going to do a search, and I've returned 2 items that are highlighted, right, where they are, and I can click on them and open them, right? This is a view of your data and your search results. Let's say I get something that's a whole bunch of stuff. Well, you know what? I want to find everything in finance that was created by Courtney Edwards. So I'm going to actually add that to my search. And it takes the same finance and Courtney and has created now a complex search by me just filling in the fields. And then I end up with a single targeted search that's been highlighted. I can export this to Excel, I can print it, or I can open it up. What's nice is if I reset this search and I want to find all documents that were created between a certain period of time, I can use the is between. It brings me up a second, right? And then I could go, let's say, back in time and say, I think a lot of this stuff is old in here. So I'm going to go 2022, January 1st. And then I'm going to say to 2022. I don't know if this is going to turn anything up. This is going to essentially then find all documents that were created between those days or modified or and the like. And if I do a search for that, it did the actual search, but there's no documents. But you get the idea of how you can now really find the targeted way, which you're doing. The neat thing about this is this form is created automatically. So they're essentially in the, once you've added the web part to the page, you go into the gear wheel, and you've got a couple things that you need to do. There's your search criteria, your search results, and the look and feel. Those 2 things, and you've now got a great search. So with the search criteria, you simply tell us where the list or library exists in your SharePoint Online site and click load, and it will give you your list of lists in that site collection, right? I click on a list that I want to build the search against. It then gives me all of the columns, and I can choose which columns I want to add or remove by simply moving them over here to the right side. And you can see it's building the form over here based on the column type, right? So once I've got all of my search columns that I want to present to the user, I can then enable either whole word search only or partial word search. I can autofill the default column, or I can disable a drop-down menu for lookup columns, right? So some nice sort of visual features. I can then make the boxes all ands or ors. So this, and when it's an and, it has to meet everything that you type in. If it's an or, any of them. I can search in the nested folders as well if it's a document library, and then I can include the all-inclusive search or not, and then I can give this thing a title if I'd like besides Bamboo search. Once I get my results, I can choose an existing list view, or I can define a custom view. That is, what columns do I want to show in my list results? And then a bunch of check marks, right? I want to highlight a certain color, allow printing, allow exporting. Do I want to show both the search and the results on the same page, or do I want to go to a new tab or replace? So if you want to keep it all in one little area, you can do that, and the like. So really simple things to get this thing set up. We, of course, give you the CSS. Once you're done, you save it, and your search is ready to be used by your users on your page. Really straightforward, super easy, and really convenient for your users. All right. The final essential product that we think every SharePoint Online tenant should have is Calendar Plus. Calendar Plus brings calendars, lists, and Exchange calendars together into a single powerhouse unified calendar within SharePoint. It allows you to color code events and calendars and categories. It has a universal search across all of the calendars that you've chosen to roll together. You can show calendar views, Gantt views, or list views. We support week numbering. And really, you can roll together multiple calendars into Calendar Plus, or you can even put it on top of a single calendar. Because one of the things we see from users is that the out-of-the-box calendar, which in a modern site doesn't even really exist, it's more of a list view, is sorely missed. So this allows you in a modern page to have a normal calendar that allows you to have multiple events, color-coded, searchable, filterable, that really makes the user's life a lot easier. So we've added some new things. We've got some new month views. So we have a whole bunch of different views that are not available out of the box. We've done some improvements on multi-month display for like quarterly views, yearly views. The searching is new. The legends can be reordered, and we've added Exchange support. So through the Graph API, the product in SharePoint can talk to your Exchange and pull in shared calendars, conference room calendars, asset calendars, or any user calendar that's shared with the logged in user in SharePoint, right? So these calendars can be added. When you install the product, it will ask for permissions to talk to the Graph API. If you don't grant it, it just won't support Exchange. It'll still support the SharePoint lists and libraries and work fine. If you do grant it access to your API and it's the product that needs the access, you'll then be able to access the Exchange calendars and pull them in. It is two-way, so that you can create events into those Exchange calendars right from SharePoint. And we also preserve all the categories as well as bringing in the pop-up information. So let's take a look at what this product looks like. And this product is right here. All right. So the first thing we see on this is we've got a lot of calendars. I've got 4 calendars rolled together. I've got a project calendar from SharePoint, got an Exchange calendar, SharePoint list, and my personal calendar from Exchange in here as well. Now, what's interesting is you can see the colors, which are all selectable and configurable, and then the categories, right? So from a SharePoint list, these are just columns. In Exchange, we bring over the actual categories from the Exchange calendar. So you can see my personal one. I've got a couple one that I've customized and some standard ones out there as well. This legend is filterable. So if I wanted to turn off the project calendar, those events would then disappear from here, right? If I want to turn off this Exchange calendar, those disappear, right? And then I'm only left with this SharePoint list, the purple, and my calendar, the red, right? If I don't have access or this Exchange calendar is not shared with me, I would not see any events from those calendars nor would I be able to add an event to that calendar. So you can see that Exchange calendar is not shared with me, right? So I can actually just minimize it, get a little more screen real estate, and there's no events in here for that Exchange calendar, right? There's no light red ones. So you can see already that we've got a lot of different views. We have a month view, an agenda view, a 3-month, a quarter, and a year. There's a lot more views that you can turn on. You can see that this is filterable down to the category level. So I can actually turn them all off and then just look at meetings, right? So give it a second to refresh. And it's going out to Exchange. I don't know if we have any meetings. Let's see what we got in here. We have this purple and this one. All right, so we'll go ahead and let's turn that off. And which one was it? Holiday? Business? Work hours? Oh, all right. Oh, I bet you we don't have that category turned on. All right, we're gonna see that in the selection why that's what's going on with that. All right, when we do the configuring. Anyway, in addition to that, we have this search all, right? So there's a lot of data in here, obviously more than you could do with out of the box SharePoint. You can see there's a couple of there's 4 events before I get the more button, right? If I click on the more button, I'll get the rest of them on a new page. The tooltip is really nice because I can see the details that you've configured to show in the pop-up without having to do a click and a page refresh. So this kind of gives the user the information they need before they actually dive into that as well. What else do we want to see? Oh, the search. So if I want to look at, let's see, what do we got in here? Let's say I'm looking for a stakeholder meeting. Right? So type in stakeholder, it gives me some titles, but if I do a search, it'll actually give me a new view, and it's searching all events across all the calendars I have access to that have the word stakeholders in it. Pretty convenient, especially as you start pushing more and more items together into a single calendar. All right, so let's go ahead and edit this calendar and show you how we set it up. So again, it's a web part that is a SPFX web part that's added to your page, and then you simply configure the size of these cells, the size of the multi-month display cell. So if I go to the 3-month view over here, this 10 is the number of events I see before I get to the see more. So you can kind of limit, what's in there based on what's happening. And then on the data source, where it's just the real meat and potatoes, you can choose a data source that is either a SharePoint list or an Exchange calendar. If it's a list, similar to list search, you give it a name, color, you give us the URL that list or calendar exists, you grab that list, you tell us what the title field is, the start time, the end time, and then whatever columns you want to add to the tooltip pop up. If you choose a category, it is a multi-field. So it will grab all of the unique items, preset a color. Of course, you can change all these colors that you want. But what's nice is, let's say in this rolled up calendar, I want to get rid of the get together, gifts, birthdays, and anniversaries, and that. All I want is meetings, work hours, and holidays, right? Or I can choose a view of that list, or I can actually build my own condition that says I only want items that were created by, a certain person, right? So that's a way of reducing the amount of data that's coming from this calendar that you're rolling together. Keep this show on. The second one is an Exchange calendar. It's got the user email that we're going to be using that it's coming from. We grab the source calendar in here, right? Probably why I don't see anything. What's going on there? Title, start field, end field. And then we just kind of wash, rinse, and repeat. This one's a SharePoint list. And then this one here is my personal calendar, right? And you can see when I put my name in and load calendars, I actually see all of the calendars that I have. I grab a title field, start field, and off I go. Some nice things on the view side is you can choose what's the default view that users see when they come to this page, and then which views that are available to you that you want to include in this navigation up here. You can turn week numbers on and off, multi-line titles. You can have the starting day be Sunday in the month view, or actually Monday. In Europe, in France, I think they start on a Monday and they have the weekends on the end. Some week numbering options, the legends, whether you want to display it or not. I can change my legend order. So if I want my calendar to be a little higher, as the admin setting it for everybody, I can do that. And then some export. So we'll go ahead and update this. We'll republish it, and you can see the legends changed. And we've got all of our items in here working. And off we go. So that is a pretty amazing product with lots of features that we know your users will love. All right. So with that, I think we're getting to the end of our webinar here. All of our products are available for free trial. You have access to support during your trial. We do offer significant bundled discounts. So if you're looking to buy more than one product, we'd love to talk to you about that. And we hope you enjoyed this webinar. So thank you very much. And here's my contact information, but you can also just reach out to us through the sales at bamboosolutions.com.